What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing tonight's game between the Chicago Bulls and Toronto Raptors. And of course, this is my Bulls report. Now, the Chicago Bulls, with the lineup of Alex Caruso, Kobe White, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Vucevic, was out there for Billy Donovan in this particular game on the road. Of course, you love to see the fact that DeMar DeRozan is back in Toronto, where he made a name for himself in the NBA. So it's always good to see guys come back, put on a show for fans that have been used to seeing them over the course of their NBA career. Now, with the Toronto Raptors, we all know the news by now of all the moves that they have made over the course of the last few weeks or so, moving on from OG Anunoby, moving on from Pascal Siakam, and now, the Scotty Barnes train is in full-fledged mode. You look at Scotty Barnes, you look at RJ Barrett, you look at Emmanuel Quickley. They have now they have Bruce Brown now. So, this Raptors team is definitely one I feel like in a few years is definitely going to be a team to look out for as far as young emerging teams, because they have a lot of pieces to build around with Scotty Barnes. So, as the start of this game went, you looked at how the Chicago Bulls came out. You seen Gary Trent Jr. actually with the first basket of the game. And honestly, I really wasn't, too upset at how the Bulls were playing early. They was going to Vucevic very early in the paint. And I knew from the beginning of the game that Vucevic would have a pretty good outing as far as low post play went, because the Raptors don't have a center. At one game, they did have Thaddeus Young playing their 5 position, but you see the Bulls with a turnover, which led to RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley getting a 2-on-1 break and a layup. Zach LaVine, who at one point was banged up in this game, did have a layup driving to the basket, and you want to see that from Zach LaVine, using his athleticism with his shot that he made, a 3-point shot that he made. And you'd like to see that from Zach LaVine, the inside, outside, using all skills. He's a 3-level scorer. So why wouldn't you want to see that? You've seen Patrick Williams with a pull-up 3. And Pat been banged up a little bit early. Like, for the Chicago Bulls to be where they are as the start of the season, this is a really good, uptake on what the team has done. You've seen Emmanuel Quickley with an open jump shot there. Also, not only that, but Kobe White's offense was going really well tonight. You seen him just get into the rim. But the Bulls were having a hard time with Scotty Barnes. He was taking advantage of the matchups given, whether it was offensively and making a staple defensively. But DeMar DeRozan was getting to his spots, getting to, his mode of scoring, low post, mid-range, moments of the game where he could take advantage. You seen RJ Barrett to end the first quarter with a running layup, but the Chicago Bulls did find themselves with the lead going into the second quarter, 38-27. You see Alex Caruso with a nice little running jumper there. With the second unit, I really always look at the second unit and see who's out there, and tonight's second unit was the only starter with the second. Well, it was 2 starters with the second unit. That was DeRozan along with Alex Caruso. Now, what the Raptors started to do in the third quarter was basically start to get their 3-ball rolling. And anytime a team can make outside jump shots, that's always an issue. The Bulls' perimeter defense isn't the best. But also, I look at it just in the same sense of guys got to rotate better. Guys got to know their personnel. And that's basically what it was for the Bulls in the early part of the second quarter. You've seen Zach LaVine and Vucevic run a 2-man game, which I think they took advantage of in this game completely. Also, you seen Zach be a facilitator, which is always good to see. You like to see the guys that can also ultimately be the dominant ball handler, also play make for other guys. You seen Thaddeus Young get to the rim. And I always been a fan of Thaddeus Young. Thad been in the league long enough, but again, like I said, the Raptors are still undersized. I think the Bulls should have took more advantage of the inside presence than they did in this particular game. But make no mistake, Vucevic did have a pretty good game all in all. But again, like I said, the 3-point shot from the Toronto Raptors just gave them a boost. It was tied at 55 with about 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. You did see the Bulls with a 57-55 lead until RJ Barrett hit a three with the shot clock running down with about a minute and a half to go in the second quarter. You've seen the Bulls rotate, get the ball to Kobe White. He gets inside, lays the ball in, and the Bulls found themselves with a 63-58 lead going into halftime. Now, in the third quarter, you did see, again, more of the same from the Raptors. They did pretty much what they started to do, opening up the third quarter with a three from Immanuel quickly. Vucevic double team down low, pushes the ball to Kobe White. Kobe White with a nice driving layup. And like I said, this is how the Bulls should ultimately play. I know they get three happy at times, but I think driving and kicking, getting to the rim is something that they can take advantage of. By all means, you have the guys that can play make. You see Alex Caruso with a steal, push the ball to Ayo Dosunmu. Ayo Dosunmu with a running layup. The Bulls find themselves up 4 points, 69-65 with about 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Again, DeMar DeRozan getting to his spots, driving layup, scoop over Porter, the center of the Raptors. And these are just plays that you like to see your team make. You see Gary Trent Jr. with a step back three over Patrick Williams there. And again, DeRozan just getting to his spots, making plays. What can you ask for, from a player that, can carry you? You see Kobe White get to the rim. And that's what they were able to do. Slash, get to the rim. And this was all night. Bulls found themselves up double digits with about 3 minutes to go in the third. But then the Raptors make a run of their own. You start to see the Bulls just not in the third quarter. Well, a 3-point shot made by the Raptors there. It was 77-85 with about 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Patrick Williams drives to the hoop, hits a nice fadeaway jump shot over two Raptors. And Patrick Williams is coming along as the season progresses, but as a Bulls fan, you still want to see him do a whole lot more offensively when it comes to his offensive game. You look at the Raptors to end the quarter, a three-point shot made there by Scotty Barnes. Bulls was up 6, 90-84. Another driving layup by Scotty Barnes where he laid the ball in. A steal by Bruce Brown, which shouldn't happen, but Andre Drummond didn't inbound the ball totally well. You look at Bruce Brown with a pass to RJ Barrett with a nice layup underneath. This was a 2-point game at 90-88. The Bulls still had the lead early on in the fourth quarter. Driving to the basket by Alex Caruso with a nice layup. And AC is always one that's going to play, hard. You won't have to worry about his effort. Still by the Raptors there. They double teamed DeRozan. RJ Barrett pushes it to Chris Boucher. Chris Boucher hits a three, gives the Raptors a 93-92 lead. Then you see the Bulls with a steal. Alex Caruso dishes it to Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams with a layup to give the Bulls a 3-point lead. A block and a run out by the Raptors. And again, like I said, this shouldn't happen. A dunk by RJ Barrett on it wasn't even a fast break, it was a semi-fast break, and he still got a dunk. 2-man game, Vucevic and Kobe White, which is nice. A free throw shot for Vucevic, who had a hell of a game tonight. You look at Patrick Williams getting to the rim for a dunk. Bulls find themselves up 101-99 with about 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Vucevic again getting to the rim. This was a feast for Vucevic. Honestly, I think he could have had 35 if you asked me. If they would have took advantage. You see a big three by Kobe White with about 5 minutes to go. The Bulls get a 3-point lead. You do see the Raptors take a 4-point lead late. One of the threes was, a 2-point shot was rescinded, or a 3-point shot was rescinded, I believe. Alex Caruso out of the corner gave the Bulls a 108-107 lead with about 2.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And this was the game right here. This last push, this last 2 minutes of the game, you seen Scotty Barnes with a layup giving the Raptors a lead. And then the Bulls go down. DeRozan with a nice mid-range shot snugged into the basket. 112, 109. And with about 24 seconds left in the game, you see Kobe White with a driving runner layup to give the Bulls a 6-point lead. Ultimately, the Raptors come down, shoot a 3 to try to cut the lead in half. Oh, excuse me. Before that 3 to cut the lead in half, it was a Scottie Barnes layup. He missed. Raptors get the rebound. Kobe White ultimately gets the rebound for the Chicago Bulls, and the Chicago Bulls find themselves on the winning end of tonight's matchup by a final score of 116-110. The Chicago Bulls, still being, a ninth place team in the East, find themselves on the winning end of tonight's matchup, and versus a team in Toronto who is a tough opponent. They did just play on a back-to-back versus the Miami Heat, in which they did blow the Miami Heat out. But the Bulls played tough. The Bulls played, about as good as a 48 minutes of basketball as you could ask for with any team. What you love to see from the Chicago Bulls at this moment in the season is, after having that rocky start, after having that start where you were questioning how everybody was going to come in and basically play. You seen an all hands on deck, and that's all you could pretty much ask for. You seen, a team who traveled, got it done. And like I said, what more could you ask for? You look at the rebounds, 42 rebounds by the Chicago Bulls, 38 rebounds by the Raptors, 30 assists for the Chicago Bulls, 31 for the Raptors, 7 steals for both teams, 5 blocks for both teams, 10 turnovers for the Bulls, 14 turnovers for the Raptors. You look at, 53% from the field for the Chicago Bulls, 82% from the free throw line, but they only shot 25% from 3. You would like to see that number definitely boost up. But like I said, when you look at, the team as a whole, what more could you ask for? And again, the Chicago Bulls get a win versus the Toronto Raptors. Their next game will be versus, let me check. I believe their next game is versus the Memphis Grizzlies. And that is a home game. So the Bulls do play the Grizzlies on the 20th at 8 p.m. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Chicago Bulls fans, Toronto Raptor fans, NBA fans, or if this is just your first time tuning into the channel, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to the channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network. And I'll catch you guys on the next video.